Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dual Screens podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Fontana, and with me, as always, he's over there. He's Andy Asimakis. How are you, Andy?
If Navi from Ocarina of Time
Yes.
were a group of people, I think it would be this game's fan base.
Yes. Yes, I think that is very apropos of you.
Very excited about this interview.
Oh, you're excited?
I love passion.
Yeah.
I love, people who have like a real just love for a game and want to know more about it and its origins as such.
Right.
So it's going to be fun today.
Well, I lament the day, Andy. Mm-hmm. I lament the day because this heathenist group of fans who come into our comments section and hijack it are winning, Andy. They've won because finally it is here.
They have spoken.
They hath spoken. In all seriousness, we're happy. We're glad. We are so thrilled to have on the show Jadun Sykes, the creator of CrossPlanet. That's right. If you were in our comments section for the last month, you've probably seen a lot of people asking for us to do this interview. But CrossPlanet is a free-to-play sci-fi shooter in development for the PC. Jaden, welcome to the show. Finally, we can put it to bed. We've done it. Hello.
Yep, thank you very much. We did. That was actually a tactic from us. We flooded your comments on YouTube. We posted to our Discord, hey, everyone, we want to be part of this podcast. Can you go and flood their comment section? That's what they did.
And it worked. It very much worked. It's funny because I was not brought up to speed on any of that happening. I just saw it happen and I'm like, did I fuck up? Did I put CrossPlanet instead of Crossplay Podcast? Like, that's really where it came from. I was like, holy shit, did I just like ruin our, search results or whatever?
I've broken the algorithm.
So I'm looking, I'm like, no, this is completely random. Maybe they were searching for CrossPlanet, but they got Crossplay and were really upset about it. Of course, Crossplay is our game news podcast that we like to do once a week on twitch.tv/dualscreen streams and later on youtube.com/dualscreens.tv on your favorite podcast service, including our home Podbean, Apple, all that fun stuff. It's on the same channel that you're listening to this. So, by the way, you're listening to the Dual Screens podcast, the internet's #1 indie developer interview podcast starring two dudes you've never heard of, probably. This show posts each and every Friday on that same podcast service that I was just mentioning, including on YouTube, youtube.com/dualscreens.tv. And we want to thank our Patreon producers, Colton the Apprentice Nestler, FNH Paul, and Vegas Girl on Fire, which you could also be a supporter at patreon.com/NDS podcast. So thank you so much to everyone that helps us out because it really does help us out tremendously. Now, you flooded our comments. They came in with vengeance, the pitchforks and torches. And I got to be honest, they were very gentle. They were very kind, but it took me back. It was very confusing. But here we are. We finally did it, and we're here. Why are people so excited about CrossPlanet? What is it, man? Jaden, give us the elevator pitch. What are we doing?
It's funny to say that. I hate when people ask for the elevator pitch because we don't actually have one. We kind of just talk about, what it is. I guess that's what you do.
Give me the Uber ride pitch.
I have it. It's in my notes, actually, from the last time we spoke, Jaden.
So, the thing that I think people bond with the most is the fact that we're kind of like a return to form. It's like a nostalgia thing.
Okay.
It's people often compare us to Halo, which some people might think you get annoyed with. If every day you're compared to Halo, it's like, crap, everyone sees us as just this knockoff or something. But that is the one game that I think we aspire to, bring ourselves towards the most. So we don't take that as an insult, really. It's like, yes, if you say we're like Halo, then thank you. That's what we kind of aim to be, a third-person Halo, with some of the games mixed in there as well. So I play Splitgate a lot, and that's actually how I found out about this podcast. I've helped them with a few things before as well, and I took a few inspirations from that game, along with a mix of other things like Mass Effect for the third-person element, Doom, because we have some like undead aspects in there, different game mode and things. So we just we looked at Halo and said, this is the base for the game, and then we're going to combine all these other games into it as well and sort of mash them up. And that's why people enjoy it, because I think recently gaming as a whole has become very BR heavy, and people are looking for arena style shooters again. And we are that. We're just a group of people who enjoy arena shooters. So
I think there was, with the advent of I think it was shit. What was it called? The Resurgence mode in Warzone. It's a much more chaotic, shorter battle royale style game. There's only 10 teams. It's much quicker. Yeah. It's much more claustrophobic, and I think people started to realize, hey, I miss this chaos. And then you started to see Apex Legends have their arenas mode. You had like all these other games, like, and now with Splitgate out there and finally starting to be taken seriously, after kind of sitting there in Steam and in early access and all that stuff for a little bit. Now console players are really starting to see where the genre can go and how much fun it could be to have people that are passionate about that genre making those games. So that's really, really, really cool. But let's talk very, very quickly about what's making you guys stand apart from the Splitgates of the world and those Halos that you aspire to be.
Yeah. So I think for us, it's the third person aspect. You don't really see a lot of third person arena shooters too often. At least I can't remember the last time that I really played one. And that comes from we used to look at old footage of Halo again. Halo's original plan was to be on the Macintosh as a third person shooter. That fell through and they went with first person when they, I think some guy just said, hey, what if we put you in the player's perspective? And that's the path that they went down. So for us, it's kind of, we want to see what that game would have looked like if they took their original course and made it a third person arena shooter. And I think that's the number one thing that people are really curious about. Like, how will this play? Will it be fun, or will it be like, this feels a bit weird because I'm not actually in control of the player. I don't see it through his eyes. But so far, I'd say like 99% of the comments we got on YouTube, things we post on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, it's all positive reception, and people really like the take on it. So,
yes, yeah.
Wow, that takes me back. But that was like what it was Apple at the Javits Center showing off their brand new computer game Halo, and not too long afterward, it was like at Microsoft's E3 that they just scooped up Bungie as a whole. I'm like, no, it's our thing that we're doing now. God,
smart play.
Thank you for that. Like, I haven't not thought about that for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a PC that could really, like, I wasn't a huge PC gamer. Like, I missed all of, like, my brother played Doom on PC and, like, the Quake and all that stuff, but I wasn't really into that stuff. The PC games that I got into were, like, Command and Conquer, and then MMOs, like Final Fantasy 11 and City of Heroes, and, like, those were the games I played. So I missed all of that kind of genres. I missed all of that. And then, so when Xbox came out, I really didn't care. Like, I was like, oh, the computer people, like, I don't care about that. I was so ingrained in PlayStation and Nintendo at the time that it didn't matter to me. But the thing that made Halo really stand out to me later on as I got into it was the campaign. And see, like, I never played multiplayer. I was never a multiplayer guy for Halo. I did not play multiplayer on any of them ever, period. So really, Splitgate is the first Halo multiplayer I've ever played, which is kind of weird to talk about. It's weird. It's just a strange thing. So so you're an arena shooter. Do you have any kind of baked in story and lore or anything for the players to kind of explore in that aspect?
Not really right now. There's basic things such as, maybe a little background as to why the players exist, or what planet they're on, a couple names for the enemies. We'll give them a sort of a background as to what type of enemy they are, where they come from, some made up planets and things like that. But there's no story mode, there's no campaign. It's not really something that is lore driven, but that might change. But right now the focus is the multiplayer. You are the story. Like, you know that you're just a guy who hops into this game, and we're not really too set on portraying you as a fictional character right now. So
okay, yeah.
What kind of modes are we getting into here in CrossPlanet, Jaden?
Yeah, so right now we have your standard team deathmatch, capture the flag, which for us is actually just called capture. And we replaced the flags with like energy cores that you have to deliver between bases, but the game mode is essentially the same. We just tried to be different as much as we also instead of red versus blue, our teams are red versus green. Very different.
That's really different. You guys are so brave.
Yep.
No one's gonna know.
No one will know. No one will link it with any other game. And then we have aspirations for like a hill type mode, so domination or king of the hill type mode. There's bobblehead snipers, which is where everyone gets a big bobblehead.
I love it.
So yeah, that was inspired by Splitgate as well. And then we have a game mode called Safeguard, which is really, really alpha stage right now. But Safeguard is where instead of fighting each other, it's like a team of 4 who fight off against waves of aliens or spiders or undead, something like that. So it's pretty much inspired by Gears of War's Horde mode.
The Horde modes, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. We're going to put a bit of a twist on it and stuff. So instead of just surviving, you might have to defend an objective, such as a base or a reactor core or something like that. But yeah, those are the key modes.
And those are fully cooperative? That would be like a fully cooperative thing. It wouldn't be like a team of 4 also trying to do it and like score more points or anything like that.
So it's both. So we have one which is Safeguard, which is your team of 4 just trying to win or stay alive, and then there's Safeguard Versus, which is 2v2. So you like 2 teams of 2 protect their own base and compare scores at the end of the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, but that's like
really cool.
That mode is in just like concept stage of we have a few assets and a map that's a blockout stage.
Okay, very good. Get it done and stop procrastinating. Stop doing podcasts. Make this the last one you do. Get out there and start finishing. Okay, enough nonsense here. I'm just kidding.
Steven, they did just hijack Gamescom with a very special announcement.
They did.
In case you were wondering, Jaden, can you please go into detail?
Yeah, so we just put a trailer out. It was my very last minute decision. We originally were going to do this in 2 or 3 weeks. It's a trailer for a closed demo, which is it's still in alpha. So it's a demo where we're going to basically say, if you're in our Discord or if you're following our Game Jolt page, you get access. So that's how you get it. It's kind of closed, but also not really.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is join the Discord and you can play.
Yeah.
It's not hard to get in. But so we announced that through a 1-minute trailer. And how we did it was we were in a call with each other and I saw that Gamescom was live on Twitch. And I just said, hold on a minute. What if we pretend that we're at Gamescom right now and we release our trailer and just use all the Gamescom hashtags to try and bring in this wave of people? And it somewhat seems to work because I think we just hit 1,000 views on that video in 3 days.
Goodness.
So
oh my God.
It seems to be working. It was a good decision, but there was a little bit of like, is this okay? Are we going to get into trouble for doing this?
You didn't use their logos. They can't have trademarks on hashtags. You got it.
You were at Gamescom. It's just, hey, Gamescom's happening. Plus, here.
We specifically said we are not at Gamescom. However, here we go.
That's awesome. That is. I wouldn't say that's hijacking. I'd say that's hitchhiking.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
So when you make an arena-based shooter that's heavy on the multiplayer aspect, it's all about the weapons, the maps, the vehicles. What can we expect to get our hands on in CrossPlanet to kill people with?
In the full game or demo?
Oh, you're just trying to sell the game, buddy.
Yeah,
let's get in there.
Okay.
Give us your whole spiel.
So in the full game, they'll be divided into 2 things. So there'll be the sandbox side, which is 4v4, 8v8, 6v6, maybe a 10v10 mode or something. The big team style with vehicles, like jets, things like that. And then there's the other side, which is the standard like 2v2s and 4v4s, where it's more competitive on smaller scale maps. And then obviously the safeguard thing as well. So there's kind of 3, I guess, core gameplay styles in the game and modes and stuff. And then aside from that, there's a couple of small things on the side. Like we might do like a bot arena, like a training area type of thing as well, which people can play. And then the big goal is eventually, this would be probably post-launch, because this is a huge thing, would be something more on the scale of maybe like a 20 versus 20 real players and AI friendlies. Very much inspired by Halo 5's Warzone mode, if you've ever seen that. So you'd be like, so real players and bots all against each other with the objective of large scale maps and capturing bases to score points and things like that, and overtaking the enemy's huge headquarters or something. But that's a mode that will probably come last, because all the other things are so much easier to do. You know, your standard free-for-all deathmatch, whatever. They were the first things we did because they're the foundation of, okay, is this fun? You have the replay loop of people play one game, they get pushed back into lobby, they start the game again, they play, and they're much easier to do. And then, yeah, the big goal of like, okay, this is what separates us really, is this huge scale thing, which is will be very difficult for an indie team. We're aware of that, so that's why we've kind of pushed it to the side and said, okay, let's do this eventually when we know that we have a better foundation here. So.
How big is your team?
Right now, officially, it's about 10 people. But in terms of people that contribute on a daily basis, I'd say more like 5 or 6.
Okay.
We have some people that the audio side, and they might do something like once or twice per week. Whereas the artists and the programmers right now are daily.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, are you? Is it like an actual core team that's like on some sort of, I don't want to say payroll, but like, you know what I mean? Or is it just a bunch of contractors that are working on this project together?
The second one, kind of.
Yeah.
It really, it's a passion project. Nobody's getting paid to do this.
Okay.
People have a contract, but the contract is basically just saying, please don't share all this online before it's finished. It's an NDA.
Yeah.
But aside from that, that's it. It's just a group of people that are all, to be honest, okay with their day jobs, but don't really want to do that as a career. So we've all come together to try and create something much bigger. And yeah, it's just people that have a passion for games and want to create something.
Do you have a plan to try and get some, like a publisher or get some monetization? Like what's your plan for that?
Right now, the plan is pretty much when we get a little bit bigger through forms of like content and things gaining a fan base, we'll try and do some form of crowdfunding because people have already asked us to do it. But we kind of said like, yeah, we get that you guys want us to do it now, but the difference in doing it now with a Discord of 200 to 300 people and doing it in 12 months with a Discord of 5,000, 10,000 people, whatever, is so much different for us.
Right.
So we said, we'll do it. And that'll be our first round of, I guess, investment, crowdfunding it. And if anyone does want to pick it up eventually, whether it's some investor or publisher, whatever, we'll decide then.
Right.
But right now, I don't think we're at that stage, you know.
Sure.
Because it's still it's a hobby thing for us, you know. It's not something that we do to survive, you know. We don't get paid. So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Right. You had mentioned at the beginning that you used to do skins for Splitgate.
Yeah.
And my assumption was that you were working on this for a bit with 1047, and that sort of like gave you the push to pursue your own gaming project.
Yep.
But then you and I spoke a little bit a while back, and there was an even more insane reason as to why you wanted to make a video game. And I want you to go into that in all the gory detail, because it's quite the story, and I want you to share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
spill the beans.
So yeah, originally I did help Splitgate or 1047 with weapon skins in that game. So I want to say like between 15 to 20 weapon skins in that game. And that kind of gave me a little bit of a push to make this, because I played it and I enjoyed it and I wanted to make a game, but one, because I actually offered to invest into Splitgate as well. That's one thing. At the time, I didn't have enough money. So I'm not going to reveal how much they were asking for because I don't even know if I'm allowed to do that. But yeah, I didn't have enough to invest in Splitgate at the time. And I kind of said, right, well, I kind of want to do my own thing if I can't join them. And the other thing was, so how long ago is it now? About a year and a half almost. I had a liver transplant, which was a huge thing.
I would imagine, yes.
Yes. There's also a guy at a place that I work right now who's going through almost the exact same thing. And we were talking the other day about how the brain works when something like that happens to you. And what happened to both of us is your brain goes into this mode of like, okay, worst comes to worst, what am I going to do with my final, whether it be years, months, whatever. and you stop caring about your day job and things like that, and you just push yourself to go into your passion projects. What are you really interested in? And this kind of drive of like, I need to succeed in some way or another, whether it's, you know, starting a business or creating a game, if it's getting a promotion at my job, or if, I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, another thing that was always in the back of my mind is like, you know, I gotta like do something. And I did multiple things. So I started a jewelry business, which was one of them, which is doing pretty well. It's made, I think I just hit like £16,000 in sales, which is like $20,000.
That's nice.
So that's
yeah, good,
doing
man.
pretty well. I had a perfume business, which ultimately failed, but it was a fun experience. That was me and a group of friends. And yeah, the video game is the third thing. So there's all that. My brain just went into this like, okay, yeah, I gotta accomplish something. So I picked up all these little different projects, and the two that stuck are the jewelry and CrossPlanet. So.
And it only took the threat of losing a liver or your life
pretty much
to get you there. That's
his
that's
life,
yeah.
That's how the human brain works.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine. Like,
I mean,
just thinking about that. Yeah,
we've heard, oh, it was a game jam thing that is now was a full game. It's oh, I played games all my life and I want to make one, or I was in third-party studios for like the better part of 10 years. Now I want to go indie. I think your story takes the cake with, well, I may die, so to leave my mark somehow, I'm gonna make some jewelry.
You should include this into the marketing somehow for the game.
Sell some perfume, and then I'll make a game, and one of those will hit.
Yep.
Wow. I did not know that story, but like that seems like, I mean, you got a lot of pelotas there, a lot of balls to be going that. I mean, yeah, that's one thing that we're all scared of, right? It's like, well, obviously you're scared of dying, but we're also like scared of failure, so we don't take as many chances as, you know, you might when you feel like your back's up against the wall. It's like, you know what, fuck it, I'll do whatever I can do, and something sticks, great. And it seems like you're making a hell of a game that has quite a following, all because you thought the end was nigh. It appears that you're alive, so that's good. You're not a zombie, are you?
No.
All right, because that would be a first for us. That would be cool,
right?
That would be really cool. I mean, we may or may not be in the middle of an apocalypse, but zombie apocalypse is not what we're looking forward to. History does not smile kindly upon us in those situations. Wow, that was a diversion, huh?
Yep.
The coffee's hitting me in a very special way right now, Andy.
Where do we go from here? So what kind of guns can I use in your game?
You didn't even try to like swerve into that.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
No,
the coffee's seriously hitting me
I'm just
in the
gonna go like
right now.
This is like we've already careened off the road as it is. So
well, that was a left hook, Andy. This is something you knew about that I didn't know about. So it was like a left hook where I'm like, oh, this dude came, like, he's on our show. His group of minions bombarded our comment section to like get him on the show, which was gonna happen anyway. Sorry guys, it was already something that Andy was discussing, but like the fact that this game came out of, for lack of a better term, desperation for success and happiness, and just being like, it's kind of like a bucket list thing, and now it's got this whole life of its own. Like that's not something you could just digest as a person who, like, I'm an empathetic person. Like I could not relate, but I could appreciate that, pretty deeply. So yeah.
No, it's funny. My notes here from my last talk with Jaden say Halo, but third person, and then it says liver transplant (parentheses) heavy drinker ? Close parentheses.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, you're young. You're a young dude. You don't have to get into all of that, obviously, but if you want to share that, you can. I don't know. That's up to you.
I don't mind. Like previously, before it happened, before the transplant happened, I never spoke about it to anyone. I kept it secret. But after, it kind of becomes like part of you, and you just talk about it and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, drinking, no, that's not the reason. You can delete that note.
Well, I know that. That was just me being an asshole on paper, but still.
No, I've actually, I mean, I don't even know how much alcohol I've consumed. It's less than like 2 or 3 units of alcohol in my entire life. I don't drink. I never smoked. I just drew the short straw, I guess, when it comes to
Yeah.
medical stuff. So, yeah, it's just something I was born with apparently, and a transplant is the only way to fix it. It's what do you call it? Autoimmune disease.
Oh,
So,
okay. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
yeah.
And so is this something you found out about like late in life? I mean, you said you didn't speak about it. Is this something that you knew was happening for years? Like,
Yeah, you. It's like something that went undiagnosed for years, so they didn't know what it
Ooh,
was.
yeah.
Yeah, they give you medication that like isn't helping at all. So you went through like years of taking things that just did nothing to help. And they're all like, "Why is this not helping? What do you actually have?" And then I don't know when it was, but maybe like 4, even 5 years ago, I think they might have diagnosed exactly what it was. Um, and then yeah, I think at the time they just said, "This is what you have." The like at the end of the day, you will have to have a transplant at some point, and my brain just kind of said, "No, I'll be fine. I'll put it off. I'll go back to work. I'll sit down and watch the Avengers on repeat for 50 days in a row or something, and just live a sloppy life." But then slowly it creeps up on you, and you realize that, oh shit, I actually have to like take this into account. My brain has to register that this is happening.
Mm.
And yeah, from all the people that I spoke to, went through something similar. And again, all the people that I see online, all these big like social media, I hate the word influencers, but what else do you call, like, content creators, I guess?
Right.
You often find that a lot of the big ones and a lot of the successful people, foreshadowing here, hopefully, they do have some form of like story like that, like, oh, a family member passed away, or oh, I have a medical condition, or something terrible happened when I was younger and I wanted to make something of myself, and it gives people a drive. So I'm praying that it does the same for me.
So how did you get your team together when you decided, hey, I want to do this? How did that happen?
Yeah. So originally, I think it was December of last year. I was scrolling through Facebook of all places. I don't use Facebook anymore. I can't even remember why I was on there. I use Twitter these days, but yeah, I was on Facebook for some reason. Ended up in a group for indie games using Unity, the game engine, and there was a guy in there called Andre who posted his very simple, low poly sci-fi game, which was just a player that looked incredibly like Master Chief, but a blocky version, on this moon kind of surface, fighting again blocky like AI enemies. And it was really simple. It was just him firing lasers with 2 guns at a couple of enemies. But my brain immediately said, this looks like a really bad third-person Halo. And I've always been a fan of Halo. My Halo playtime is over probably 6, maybe 700 days in game time.
Oh my.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's huge. My Halo Reach playtime alone is like 460 days. So yeah. So my brain just said, well, this looks a lot like Halo, and I really enjoy it. And game design is something I always wanted to get into. It's something I did at college, and then I abandoned it after 1 year. My tutor at college was a guy called Rob Charlish, and he was the lead designer on the Worms series.
Great series.
Yeah. So I left that course because me and him didn't really get along. Just a stupid reason to leave a college course. But yeah, I abandoned game design after 1 year of college and went to do graphic design for 6 years. And now, due to one guy posting a video on Facebook and my brain saying, I need to do something, this is all formed. So it started with me and Andre. I just messaged him saying, do you want help on this, basically? So I offered my experience with graphic design, a little bit of experience with modeling and texturing, and then social media work and content and things like that, because I previously streamed, made YouTube videos. So I knew that would help bring in fans and things. And after that, we just got to work month by month. A new person will see us, whether they're someone who does audio, someone who does 3D, a programmer, someone who wants to help with social, whatever they are. They see us on social media and they just say, can I join? Like, do you want more people to help out? And that's what keeps happening. I'd say roughly once every month, we get a new guy who just comes along and says, can I help with this? Like, I don't want to be paid. I just enjoy what I see. I've always liked Halo, and can I help out?
That is a very, very unique to our generation way of working. Like you wouldn't nothing like this. Like you wouldn't hear any of this from any other generation. Like it's almost like a foreign concept that you could just like, hey, can I help you? Yeah. Can I help you for free? Yeah. And can we make something people actually want? Yeah. Okay. How does anybody make money? Does it really matter? It's a pandemic. We'll be fine. Just
you want to give your time and energy to this project, and I'm not going to pay you to do that. Sure.
Do you think the pandemic had something to do with people willing to do this for help out for free? Like they just had more free time to kind of explore in this?
I think maybe a little bit, yeah. But I did the same thing with someone else's project years ago when I was in high school. I just joined people making like Halo fan games back then. And I joined in with those just purely out of interest for the game and wanting some kind of, I guess, entryway into the industry.
Sure.
So for a lot of people, this is probably also like a portfolio thing. If you can create something like this and maybe it doesn't blow up on the scale that you want it to, at least you have it in your pocket as like here's what I did previously. Please hire me. So
that's fair.
Yeah.
Are you excited for the new Halo game coming out in December?
I played the tech demo.
Oh, wow.
You mean 30% of the Halo game coming out in December?
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. I have mixed opinions on Halo right now. As a game, is it fun to play? Yes, it's always fun to play. Am I as addicted as I was when I was 16? No, it's not as good as it was then. But I still enjoy it. Yes, I will play it. Yes, I'm excited for it. But the one thing that I think every Halo fan has in the back of their minds now is, do we trust 343 Industries to like pull through with this? Because as much as like some of the people there are obviously really talented in what they do, and I'm not going to discredit them. They're like obviously really, they know what they're doing. But it seems that they just have this problem with releasing a complete game. They can't do it. Not once have they released a game and it's been fully polished and all the content is in the game. It's always, here's the campaign and multiplayer. Forge and custom games and theater mode comes in 6 months. Why? Like, maybe it's just Microsoft pressuring them to release on a certain date or something. There's obviously things behind closed doors that we can't know about. But yeah, like to answer your question, basically, yes, I'm excited about it, but I'm also skeptical of how it's going to go. I think this is their last chance as well. I think if they mess this up and the game loses, half of its fan base after a few months, I think this is it for Halo. It just becomes a cash grab for Microsoft after this, because that's slowly where I see it heading as well. It's like, new Halo toys, new Halo book, new Halo comic, new Halo Xbox to celebrate 30 years of Halo existing. Like, who wants this? There was a huge disappointment from people about the Xbox release from Gamescom. It's like, oh, by the way, guys, we have this huge thing to announce. It's an Xbox with a Halo skin celebrating 30 years of our game being out. It's like,
at least they did something.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
it looked pretty cool.
Sure.
It looks cool, but I think people are just hoping for more. Halo's this. Maybe it's unrealistic at this point. I don't know, but I think people just want more from Halo.
The issue with that is because we talk about the game not being finished when it launches, I feel it's been 5 or 6 years since we've had the idea of Halo Infinite in our heads.
Yeah, it's 6 years.
When we first saw it, last summer, everyone was like, this looks like a 360 game. And this was somehow good enough for you to release to the public looking the way it did. So it does make me question, like, who's in charge, who's allowing these things to happen, and where's the oversight in the franchise? Yeah, in a more broader sense.
I think the paradigm is shifting now because of Game Pass. I think they can release dribbles of a game because they know people already have their $15-$16 and a month, and they're gonna get their player base, whatever. Some people will pay for the game, most people will not. They'll just have their Game Pass, and it really doesn't matter. It's just having the name. Hey, we have a new Halo, and it's on Game Pass, part of your subscription. That's enough for them,
right? And how incomplete is a game if I'm only paying if it's free for someone that has a Game Pass?
Right. Exactly.
You're not paying up front, so just take it in piecemeal and shut up and like it.
Well, that's Halo, that's Microsoft, that's Game Pass. That's a whole other story because hopefully, hopefully one day CrossPlanet will be on Game Pass. You never know. You never know, man. Yeah. They could reach out and be like, "Yo, we like this," and you could be like, "All right, cool. Show me the money."
It's already free to play. What's it going on Game Pass for?
Well, when it's finished, you know.
Oh, I mean, it's
like when it's like, hey, we have all these modes that we wanted to do, but we didn't. But because Microsoft's given us a kashin, we could throw that shit all up in there. You know what I mean. You're picking up what I'm putting down.
It's gonna be Nintendo's gonna buy this shit as the Halo killer.
Oh, that's it. That's what they need. That's what they care about. Question. You have a very, very ravenous, very, very dedicated fan base, as we know, as we mentioned at the top of the show with the comments and all that stuff. What has it been like working so closely with people who enjoy the game, and what kind of feedback did you get? What kind of lessons did you learn from that? And how do you take feedback and implement it?
Yeah. So yeah, our community right now it's small but very dedicated, and we like to involve them in a lot of things. So we QA test now almost every weekend, and it's very feedback driven. So we play the game with 20, 30 people, and the first thing we say is like, how do you guys feel about this? Please give feedback, because ultimately we can enjoy this game all we want, but if you guys don't enjoy it, then this isn't going to succeed. So we always ask, like, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, give us ideas from other games, and that's how we drive the game. And our core fan base is very much Halo and Splitgate people, with maybe a few Destiny people in here and stuff. So the fact that our fan base and the people who are playing are already people who we aspire to pitch the game to is really good for us, because it knows we're getting valuable feedback there. So yeah, a lot of people are from Splitgate. Actually, I want to shout out to Ian, our Cardinal from Splitgate, because
Ian. Good dude.
He doesn't mind me really promoting this, I guess, in a way. I can't just drop the server link in the Splitgate Discord that now has 800,000 people in the Splitgate Discord. It'd be nice to just drop my link in there. But he lets me promote it, and a little bit here and there. So
who knows? Maybe that's a partnership. Maybe that's a thing that
I'd love for that to happen. We spoke about that when Splitgate was. We call it back in the 300 CCU days of Splitgate. There's only the OG 300 people that played every day. There was talks of like, one day could we do like a crossover where like we put one of our character skins in your game and you put one of yours in our game, or something like that. I'd love to do something like that.
Fuck that, man. You just be a second studio, man. That's it. You go under their wing.
Right.
You make the third-person version of the games, and you make your own little spin on it. They have their Splitgate shit. Sure, you cross-pollinate, of course. But imagine just piggybacking off each other. I mean, Splitgate wasn't what it is now. Even when we had Ian on the show, like we were part of that 300 people playing that. I guess it was called what was it called? Free to play. I don't remember what it was. Whatever it was. Now it says beta on the bottom of the screen, but like it didn't always say that. It said something else, or was something else. But whatever. I digress. We played it and we loved it. But like now that more people actually understand that this is a thing that's out there, it changes the complexion of the entire game. And the same thing can happen with CrossPlanet. The same thing is probably going to happen with CrossPlanet, because it's already happening. You already have your 300 CC. It's just a little smaller right now, but like that's going to continue. And having this close relationship with another game that has found their success, I think is only a good thing for both of you. Because it gives them kind of a little brother, you know what I mean, to like continue to foster, because it'll help their relationship or their development a little bit better, to have just a larger talent pool that you're been gathering across the face of the internet. So I mean it's a no-brainer. I know the games are similar, but I don't think that really needs to matter. I mean, look at Doom and the guys at Bethesda, like they all make very similar games, but they're unique in their own ways, and it works, right? So why not?
Yeah, Ian actually messaged me today saying he really wants to play CrossPlanet, because he hasn't touched it yet. He's very busy right now, obviously, because of the explosion of Splitgate. But yeah, I mentioned that to him that I was coming on this show, and he said like I really need to play your game at some point. And when I told everyone else in the Discord, they were all saying like you need to try and get him to like invest or something, you know,
Yeah.
put some money into
Or
this.
just be
bring us
an
into,
ambassador for it, you know, like
yeah,
just be like, because there's going to be, as you get more notoriety, right, you're gonna have people that are say, oh, you're a ripoff, you're just because Splitgate got big, you know, now you come around and this game looks like shit because obviously, you know, you're younger in development and all that stuff. But if he comes out and says, no, they're our friends, like, cut that shit out, like, I'm gonna play their game on my
just
thing.
To vouch for you alone.
Yeah, exactly. Just to be that kind of voice on the mountaintop, you know, like that's dope. Like that. Would you have come here if it wasn't for them being on our show? Probably not. Like,
I mean,
if you think about
like,
it, like,
no, because I wouldn't know you existed. I don't
Yeah,
think
exactly.
that's the reason I knew you
thanks
existed is
for
because
that.
somebody
Thanks
who.
for that.
Usually how it goes. It's usually how it goes.
I mean,
I feel real good.
I was led to you through, you know, a game that I enjoyed, and
Yeah.
that's how things work. That's how content works in general.
Yes,
You watch
absolutely.
something because someone you know or something you enjoy is
Well,
being shown.
Yeah. Andy,
we do like to pick winners on the show, Jaden.
only
And
winners.
I think you're now amongst that elite group of developers. So I think
Elite.
good stuff is in your future. Elite.
Don't pressure me too much.
Speaking of the future, Andy,
Oh,
it's about
yeah.
that time, buddy.
Oh yeah, is it when I asked Jaden what are the do's and don'ts of starting a perfume business?
You could certainly have that be part of the rapid fire section, but folks, it's now time to get into the rapid fire section. This is where we're going to get to know Jaden deep down inside his solar plexus, the darkest corners of his bowels. We're going to get to know everything about him from top to bottom, and it's very simple. If you were to describe, here it is, you're just giving us answers. If you were to describe the scent you were trying to make in your perfume business, what was that scent?
Aventus, because it was a replica of Aventus by Creed. So there you go.
There is nothing left to the imagination of why that failed. Nothing.
I will say one thing:
Just
don't
when you
start a
think.
perfume business in the pandemic. That was the worst choice we had.
Hindsight is 2020, my friend. Hindsight is 2020.
I feel like we learned so much from developers on this show, and it makes us say this is why we do the show.
Yeah.
But that was a very magical moment, I must say, that I could never have been fully prepared for, even knowing that you had a perfume business. All right, let's go back to the basics.
There's a bottle here.
There it is.
Pineapple on pizza, Jaden, yes or no?
No.
Interesting. Interesting.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You guys a yes? Or
It's not about us, all right? It's not about us, Jaden. All right? It's about you.
Yeah, it's really not about
that gives
us,
me
yeah.
my answer, I think.
You're not getting like the public opinion, you know, what's polling a certain way. It's all about you.
All right.
Steven.
Let's see. Is cereal a soup?
No.
Okay.
I've asked that question myself before, actually, as a
Interesting.
joke for a tweet.
Fair.
This is a recent addition to Rapid Fire.
Yes,
courtesy of, I want to say, 2 hours ago.
Yes.
When you're in the bathroom and you're getting up to wipe your bottom,
Mhm.
do you crumple or do you fold the toilet paper?
Fold?
Okay.
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 Okay, good.
Sneakers or flippity flop / sandals?
Sneakers or shoes / trainers, as we call them in the UK.
Trainers.
Give us a very brief, non-inspirational quote.
Non-inspirational.
Non-inspirational.
So you were just asked to give a speech at your university, and you have very awful memories of your time there, and you hate everyone. and you want to discourage the graduating class as quickly and as meaningfully as possible,
Yes.
what do you say to them?
Well, it's something similar that I say to my work right now. Something along the lines of, the past few years were terrible. I'm leaving. That's my dream. That's my dream, by the way. If I ever get this game to succeed, like, you know, the levels that I want it to, I want to walk into work one day and them not have a clue what's about to happen. And instead of me handing in a letter of, like, you know, leaving kind of thing, I forget what you call it, I would just want to walk in one day and be like, hi guys, I have something to say to everyone. I'm quitting now, and just walk out of the building and just leave with like the pride of something else that I've done has succeeded to the point where I can do that. That's like I really want to do that one day.
Hopefully they are not watching or listening to this show.
They probably will.
I just want to point out how that quickly became into very inspirational at the very end of that.
Yes.
Of that piece.
Probably a habit by now.
Would you rather explore an uncharted planet or the deepest, darkest parts of our ocean here on Earth?
A different planet. I'm not a fan of the water, really. So.
What if it's a water planet? Oh,
God.
Your turn, Andy.
What would be on the gag reel of your life?
Probably me running around as a 3-year-old kid pretending to be Sonic the Hedgehog in the school playground every single day. That would. Yep.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's good.
That's
some good shit.
All right. You're in a horror movie. What would you rather be murdered by? A human killer, a supernatural killer, or a bestial monster killer?
The monster, because I feel like that's the quickest way. They'd be most powerful, so you wouldn't feel anything.
But what if you're food? You just get eaten. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's always been my thing. It's like, okay, the supernatural spectrals, it's like, how would I die? I don't know. Heart attack? Like, how are you killing me? Like, in my dreams? Like, is Freddy like one of those? I guess, maybe. But then, like, I am terrified of Mike Myers. Terrified of a big, strong guy that is just going to rip your arms off and make you eat them. Anyway, Andy, your turn.
I have just been arrested.
Yep.
For the murder of Stephen.
Yeah, okay.
How did I do it? I love when they do it when like a fresh play, an old question, you know?
Yeah.
The backstory is he was late to a Dual Screens podcast, and you beat him with the microphone stand until he died.
I probably put up a little bit of a fight, but that's okay.
Do you know what this cost me? I would never.
It doesn't have to be yours. It could be my microphone stand.
Right.
It could be mine.
Oh, you know what I would use though? I would use this banana holder.
Sure, that's what that is.
Super monkey ball.
Sure. That's what that is, Andy. All right. Here's one. Here's one for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to anamorph right now, you have an anamorph figure. In case you don't know what that is, that means you could shapeshift to an animal. What animal would that be?
A dog, because I feel like everybody loves dogs.
Just a simple dog. Okay, very good. I like that.
All right, so since you're gonna go animorphs, I'm gonna go with, if you were one of the Planeteers, which would you be? Would you be Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, or Stupid Heart, which makes no sense?
Whoa!
But is the thing.
Fire.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I always chose the fire Pokemon when I play Pokemon.
So you're a simpleton. I get it. Okay.
Oh, besides Diamond and Pearl,
Steven.
I chose Piplup in Diamond and Pearl. That's the only one.
Smart. Piplup's dope. I think I did. That was Torterra, right? That was that one. Turtwig.
No,
that was that one.
Yeah, Turtwig was the grass one.
Yeah,
Piplup was the water.
I did that one. I did Turtwig on that. My first play of that one. It's good times. So, if you were a Pokemon gym leader, what would your gym theme be?
Well, saying fire is too boring now because it's the same
but
answer,
it
isn't
could
it?
be fire, but it could have a twist.
Fire/dragon.
Oh, so Charizard's not on there. That's interesting. Because he's the only dragon that's not a fucking dragon. Knows the shit out of me.
No sense
Andy,
at all.
I have more Pokemon questions now that he's opened up the floodgates. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Would you rather have your skin color change based on your emotions, or have tattoos appear all over your body that would depict what you did the day before?
The skin color changing due to emotions, like a mood ring does. Yeah, I'd rather have that.
It's
as long as you're
probably more
brutally honest
useful.
with everything you say, you're fine there, I think.
Yeah, it's probably more useful that way. Would you rather have the ability to teleport or time travel?
Teleport. Because if there's anything I've learned from Marvel, it's don't mess with the multiverse and time travel. So.
But let's say you could time travel, but you could only go forwards or backwards in time. Which way would you go?
Forwards. I'm much more sci-fi than I am knowing what happened in the past and seeing it that way. So my brain still thinks that like 50 up to 100 years ago we lived in black and white. So
right. Yeah. What's the name of your new liver?
That's a weird question. It doesn't have one, but
Okay.
it doesn't feel like it's how do I say it? It doesn't feel like it's part of me, like it belongs there. That's the weird part. It feels like you're carrying around something that's not like yours all the time.
Right.
So yeah, it's still quite alien, but I think that'll come with time. I'll get used to it. So.
You could physically feel that? Like or is it like an emotional?
I mean, yeah, like when I move around, it still hurts sometimes, so you can feel it that way.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
But yeah. Plus, I mean, the gigantic scar that's shaped like a T really gives it away, so I can never lose that.
So it's Mr. T.
Listen,
is the name of your new liver.
Yeah, that's it.
I pity
Maybe
the fool
it should be
with an autoimmune disease.
If I hate you. If you could scrub one game from the Halo franchise out of existence, which game would that be?
5.
That was really easy.
Wow.
I thought that was gonna be a challenge.
The one I played the least of, so it has to be that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. All right, let's get one more, and then Andy, you can go home with this one. Let's see. Let's do a good one.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. Okay. If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life without consequences, what would that food be?
I'm glad you added the without consequences.
Yeah, don't worry about it, bro. Don't worry about it.
Sushi is the answer.
Ooh,
don't know if you would expect that one. But yeah, currently I can't have sushi. It's one of the things I can't eat after the liver transplant. So that does have consequences now.
Is
so
that like
the
a
fact
mercury
you said
thing?
Without. No, it interferes with the like dosage of medication I take.
Got it.
And also seafood,
okay.
anything that crawls at the bottom of the ocean is higher chance of containing traces of hepatitis. So yeah, that's why.
Wow.
So the fact you said no
Facts.
consequences,
Fun fact,
good.
No
Okay.
consequences, bud. Get that
Yeah.
sushi, eat it all day or a day.
Right.
All right, Andy, it's now time for the ceremonial final question, which I'm sure Jaden already knows.
I'm not going to belabor the point because
You're not going to
he knows
belabor
the
it.
question.
You know, okay. All right.
And that is Jaden,
Well, our listeners don't.
Andy,
Might
or
not.
Steven.
Ah, that's true. Yeah.
No, they know.
You just got right
Andy,
in there.
Andy or Steven.
Yeah, let's just give it. Just say it, man.
Let me
Just say it.
I'm saying it. I'm trying to say it without you interrupting me. Andy or Steven.
No, I want him to say it.
Yeah.
I feel I've spoke to Andy more. However, Stephen has a really nice radio voice, and I like boom kind of bassy voices.
Oh snap! Things might have just gotten a little sexual in here.
I know a little bit.
Comfortable. I am comfortable in this.
I'm gonna say Steven.
Yeah, no, that's the right answer, because the more you talk to Andy, the more you can't stand him. I get it.
It's fair.
I get it.
It's fair. It's fair. It's fair. It's totally
Jaden,
fair. I was gonna block him on Discord right now before you move on.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll join the Discord. I'll get in the closed alpha, whatever it's called. Jaden, where can everybody find CrossPlanet? How can everybody keep up with the development and all that fun stuff? Give us everything.
So the Twitter and Facebook is really easy. It's just CrossPlanet game. We have the alias on there. However, YouTube we don't, because it's a random higgledy-jig URL that we don't know.
Until you get to a certain amount of subs, yeah.
Yeah, but I think now we're at the point where people have actually typed in our name in YouTube so much that if you just search CrossPlanet in YouTube, we come up for like the first 5 videos. So that's good.
Excellent.
So yeah, and then for Discord, it's a bit more complicated, but it's always in the description of our YouTube videos. So
and
if you just search CrossPlanet
description as well. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, I think we got to the point where we can brag and just say, just search CrossPlanet game on the internet and you'll find us eventually. So
awesome.
It's true. It's very true.
If you want to follow us on social media, we are at duel_screens on Twitter, at dual screens on Instagram. I am at Batchild27. Andy is at PantsGuy, and our Facebook group is facebook.com/groups/DS podcasts. There it is. That's the one. Got to make sure you get that groups in there, because it is a group for group hugs and whatnot. What else? Twitch.tv/dual-screen-streams, youtube.com/dual-screens-tv. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment. CrossPlanet people, do you have another game you want us to go and do? Hit us in all of our comments. Just pass it around. Watch the show and pass it around to everyone. This was a blast. I had a great time. Andy, is there anything you want to say before some parting words before we go?
No, this game is all sorts of fun. I've seen it in action before. Got the live demo from Jaden, and I feel like this game needs to be on everyone's radar. So please go check it out.
Put it on.
And you got the live demo that was like a 20 FPS Discord stream.
I
as
know.
Well, so that's
and I'm
awesome. Still
promoting it. So
yeah,
it says a lot.
That's awesome, man. Well, good luck with everything. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers. And as always, please be excellent to each other.